Hello everyone, Josh here with X's Plays, bringing y'all another Infinite Magicraid video, and today we're going to be looking at the new epic hero Daisy that you will be able to summon in the Miracle Wish event after the next reset. She is currently in the gallery, as is the other two legends, but she really stood out to me because I feel like she has a very good kit and she could be a really strong hero, and since she is an epic hero, she's going to be more available to a lot of players out there, especially when she's added to the normal wish in a couple weeks. So she's in the Wizard's Eye faction, so she shares the same faction with Space. Now, what's interesting about this is if you look at Space's design, you look at like the hair, you look at the face and everything like that, it's very interesting that when I look at her, the new hero Daisy, she looks like she could be Space's child. Like, is this Space's daughter? Like, what's going on here? I need some context. I need some storyline development here between these two characters. Do they know each other? Are they related? They look so similar to me. I don't know. Let me know what you guys and gals think in the comment section below. I just wanted to kind of bring that up from like a storyline, perspective. Very interesting. But anyways, I like Daisy's design. It looks really, really cool. I love the purple aura that's around her, and I love that little bunny that she has as well. So very, very cutesy design there for sure, but very cool nonetheless. Anyway, we now have all of her stats because she's in the game, so we can go ahead and do a full breakdown and review and see how good or bad this unit may be. Now, in my patch note review, on paper, just from reading some of the information we had on her, she sounded very, very good, but a lot of that really depended on what are the skill multipliers going to be, what's the chances for this and that, what's the percentages, and of course the base stats. So base stat wise, HP 6500, that's right in line with a lot of the other support heroes in the game. That's right, right around that margin, so that's fine. Attack and defense, again, 715 for both, right in line there with some of the DPSs in the game that are epics. And then speed 985, also solid. So stat wise, she's either right there on the average or maybe even slightly above or below, depending on the stat you're actually looking at and what role that you're going to have for her in your team. But overall, I think her stats are fine, which then leads me to the actual skills. Are the skills sufficient? Is she going to be a solid hero? Is she going to be able to replace anybody? Or is she just going to kind of get lost in the shuffle and just be an afterthought after this Miracle Wish event goes away? Well, let's go to her skill 1 first. We'll get to the exclusives at the end, by the way. Powerful Charge deals 170% attack damage. Now, of course, with skill ups, that goes up another 40%, so that goes up to 210. Very weird number there, but 210. I feel like they could have just made that 180 and made it a nice even 220, but whatever. 210% attack damage to a single enemy. Crit is guaranteed for this attack if Daisy has an attribute buff, which she will pretty much all the time. So this is very good because it says she's a turn meter, she's a buff unit, and she's a support. But if you go through her skill set, as we said in the patch note previews, she's going to be a DPS too. She's going to be a hybrid. And hybrids I love because that means they have more flexibility, they have more versatility, which means they're going to be useful in more types of content, as long as they don't struggle to keep up with their end of the bargain on either end of whatever their role is when they're a hybrid. Because sometimes hybrid units can be bad because they could be a jack of all trades but master of none, and you really don't want that. Sometimes you really need a unit that really specializes in a certain role. However, I think with her kit, going over it before, and what we're going to be seeing here today, spoiler alert, I think she's going to fill that role on both ends very well. She's going to be a good DPS, I think. Not some top level DPS, obviously, but she will provide you with some damage, and I think her support is going to be amazing. All right. Skill 2, and by far probably my favorite thing about her, because personally, I think she has a role on my team that she can replace somebody I already have currently built up, and that's Birdo. I love Birdo. I use him for a lot of content. But I feel like with this skill and with her exclusive 1, which we'll get to later, I think she will be able to actually fulfill his role and then some, because I don't really need the effect hit up with him from his passive anymore, because all my dot damage dealers already have enough effect hit as it is for what they need to do. So I would trade him in for more damage. Now, granted, he gives you an attack up too, which is 40%. She only gives you 20. But if you read a skill here, she's also giving you crit rate up, and eventually when we get to the exclusive one, she'll also provide crit damage. And by the way, all three of those buffs are attribute buffs, which plays into her entire kit. I love when units have full synergy with all their skills. I love that. So she's going to have that in spades, which is great. Now, this is a 5-turn skill, which of course will go down to 3 when you level it up. So you're going to be getting the crit rate up, the attack up, and then eventually crit damage up. All very good, all in one skill. Plus, she has a 25% chance to act an extra turn, which is even more insane. That's just an added bonus. You don't even need that. But if you get it, awesome. All right, passive. Daisy increases her turn meter by 15% with skill ups whenever she obtains one layer of attribute buff. Guess what? She's going to get 3 from this skill too with an exclusive 1. And don't tell me, well, Josh, it's exclusive 1, it's going to be hard to do. No, it's not. We're doing the Voyage event right now where everybody, including all the free-to-plays, can get a free one right now. So I don't want to even hear any excuses about, well, Josh, if we pull her, how are we going to get the exclusive one? It's going to be hard. No, the hard part is just pulling her once. You pull her once, you will be able to, if you are saving your Voyage Dragon Eye right now that you're getting from the Voyage event, you will be able to use that on her if you pull her, if you choose to, of course. Or you can pull multiple copies if you're lucky, who knows. But if you do pull her either right now or later on when she's added to the general pool, you will have that in your back pocket if you want to invest into her, if you think that she's going to be good enough for your team. So I will be including the exclusive one into a lot of the things that I'm praising her for right now, because I feel everybody will be able to at least do that much. So she's going to be getting 3 attribute buffs from this skill too, which means she's going to be getting 45%. You heard that right. 45% turn meter increase. What? Insane. And then she's also going to be guaranteeing herself to crit on her skill 1. You know, that's nuts to me. And you can have a lot of fun with this unit, I feel. And then, by the way, if you run her with a Whim or you run her with a Catherine, both those units skill 2 also is considered an attribute buff. If you run her with Space and you use her skill 2 for the speed up boost, that's another attribute buff, which everybody in the game gets Space for free. So, ladies and gentlemen, her turn meter increase on her skill 2 is going to be insane. Now, her ultimate, which surprised the crap out of me because I did not expect them to give her this high of a multiplier. I thought it was going to be like in the low hundreds, maybe 60%, 90%, something goofy, just to where it gives you a little bit of chip damage, but nothing special. Boy, was I wrong, and I'm glad to be wrong. Ultimate deals 245% AoE. And that's not even the best part. Each layer of attribute buff, Daisy increases the damage of this skill by 15% up to 75. And as we already talked about, she herself will already give her 3. So she's going to get 45% just like that, just from there, that alone. You add her with a Whim or a Catherine or a Space or any other unit that gives her an additional attribute buff. Ladies and gentlemen, she's going to be hitting around 300 or higher percent. A support unit that already has an amazing kit up to this point is going to be providing you with some damage on her ultimate. And it gets even better when we get to her exclusives. I'm sorry if I feel like you can verbally hear that I'm glowing for this unit. This unit is just amazing. I have not been this excited for a new epic since Loof came out. And by the way, we're going to have a Loof showcase here very soon. I've been building him up in the background for quite some time, and he's almost ready to be unleashed onto the YouTubes. All right, exclusives. Level 1 additionally increases all allies crit damage by 30%. We've already talked about that. Again, that's going to give her 3 attribute buffs on her skill 2. And that's going to be for your entire team. That is absolute insanity. All of that in skill 2. That's beautiful. Level 2, Daisy increases her turn meter by 2.5% whenever an ally, excluding self, obtains 1 layer of attribute buff. Well, guess what? Her skill 2 does that as well, by giving all your other allies 3 attribute buffs. What are we doing here? This unit's turn meter increase is off the charts. I love it. I absolutely love it. She's going to be going often. Quite often. Now, level 3, this makes her this makes her ultimate even better than I already said it was. As I said previously, she could hit around 290 to 300% plus AoE, right? As a support epic hero. I mean, it's not like she's going to be a top level DPS, but that's going to be some nice chunk damage. And now it gets better. Has 15% extra crit damage up to 75% for every layer of attribute buff Daisy has. And again, she's already going to have 3 by default. And if it works like the skill 3 already does, which if I'm reading that correctly, it seems like it does, it's going to be 15% up to 75 per attribute buff, which means just by her own kit alone, nobody, no outside help, just herself, she's going to do an increased 45% damage on her skill 3 and 45% crit damage. That's insane. This unit is going to be low-key DPS support, not just support. Matter of fact, this opens up the doors a little bit for how you could build this unit. You don't have to build her as a pure support. You can build her as that hybrid. You can kind of buy into the fact that, hey, this unit might be able to be doing some damage. It's not going to be massive damage, but at level 3 exclusive, she's going to be putting in a little bit of work on top of buffing your entire team and going a lot. That's insane to me. That's a solid epic hero. So in conclusion, at least on paper, obviously we can't test her until I get her. And if I do get her, I plan to make her A5 as soon as I can to replace my A5 Verto, because I feel like she's going to go in and take his role quite easily because of all that she is offering, plus the extra damage. Again, it's not going to be massive damage. Don't get too excited, but the damage plus the buff, plus how often she's going to go because of her turn meter increase, this is looking like a potential top 10, maybe even at some point, we're going to have to see what we can do. Maybe top 5 epic in the entire game. She's looking like a beast. So, I have glowed a little bit for her. I'm a bit, hype and excited, but I can't help it. Reading what I'm reading and seeing what I'm doing and thinking of the combinations in my head with some of my other units and what units that you guys and gals could have, the things that you could do with this unit, seems like a lot of fun. And this is all bottled up, bundled together in an epic. This isn't a legend hero. This is an epic. So this is insane to me. I feel like she's going to be a really solid unit. Let me know what you guys and gals think in the comment section below. If I was to give this unit a grade based on what we see and read so far, I want to give her like a 9.5 out of 10. Especially if we're taking into account that she's just an epic. So again, let me know what y'all think. Don't forget to subscribe, turn notifications, join me in the Discord in the description below. And by the way, if you want to see my new first impressions for the new Summoner's War Chronicles, I did it on my second channel, which you can also find in the description below, Excess Gaming. Go ahead and subscribe there as well if you guys want to see first impression videos, first look gameplay videos, and of course, gaming news that we cover here on our 2 channels. Until next time, peace.